So, you've done a lot to land your dream job in data. You've learned the technical skills, you built a very impressive portfolio, and now the only thing standing between you and your dream job is that interview. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crush that data job interview. I'm one of the most qualified people on YouTube to talk about this because I cleared not one, not two, but multiple data job interviews where the odds for success are under 1%. So do yourself a favor, put away all distractions around you, take notes with paper if you have to. Your future self will thank you. My first tip is to research the company before the interview and be ready to talk about their products or services in an educated manner. This sounds very basic, but a lot of people don't do it. So if you walk into the interview already knowing about their products or services, you already weed out a lot of your competition. My second piece of advice is to make sure that you know your stuff when it comes to technical stuff. At the minimum, and I mean bare minimum, you need to know SQL, Excel, and Tableau at least well enough to pass a technical assessment. I actually made another video on all the technical skills you should learn as an entry-level data analyst, so go watch it if you haven't already, and leverage some of the free resources that I give you to make sure you're up to standard when it comes to technical skills. Obviously, I don't expect you to know everything. I'm pretty seasoned at this point, and even I use Google to look up stuff on SQL all the time. But if you keep failing the technical round of your data analyst interview, maybe you need to hone your skills a little bit more. My third piece of advice for you is to make sure you quantify your impact as an employee when answering questions. Before you walk into that interview, prepare a couple examples of how your work resulted in impact for your previous employers. In this context, impact can be more revenue, better margins, or better operational efficiency. Keep in mind that data jobs are not cheap for employers. These are in many cases six-figure jobs. So make the decision easier for the hiring manager by justifying your value. The next thing that I would like to discuss is case interviews. These are interview questions where the interviewer gives you scenarios that are supposed to emulate business problems you're running into when you're on the job. Their goal here is to see your problem-solving approach and see if you can at least directionally approach the problem the right way. And because data analysts can work in so many different industries, I don't want to give a specific example here. So my suggestion here is to go to Google and search for data analytics case interview walkthrough for your industry. But if you're trying to break into business strategy or business operations for tech or the e-commerce industry, make sure you follow my newsletter, which is linked in the description, because I feel very qualified to talk about these industries, and I will do some case interview questions and answers in the future. Tip number 5 is to be ready to answer behavioral questions, especially around how to work with difficult people. In a perfect world, we will love everybody we work with, they will know what they want, and the communication will be seamless. But in reality, we all know that's not what happens. And a lot of data analysts are logical thinkers and introverts, and they're notorious for not being able to work with difficult people. So when you come to the interview, make sure you're prepared to talk about how you deal with difficult stakeholders and how you're able to de-escalate situations and how you can perform under pressure. Again, specifics and examples will really help your case here. And the final tip for the day is to demonstrate project management and organizational skills. Talk about how you prioritize when you have a lot of tasks to do. Talk about how you rank tasks based on urgency and importance and prioritize accordingly. Better yet, talk about how you will create a ticketing system so that you can manage all of your stakeholders' requests and nothing gets lost. These are all things that demonstrate your stellar organizational skills as a data analyst. And that's it. This was how to ace your next data analytics job interview. Thank you again for watching until the very end. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow my newsletter to get weekly insights on all things data, career, and how to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Linked in the description below. All right, until next time, I'm rooting for you. Take care.